information legislation. The legislation is not quite working in practice, or has not been tested, or the civil society is not vigilant enough to test its provisions and so forth. My own thinking is that when you look at the way the freedom of information legislation has come to these countries, it is either through pressure by the World Bank, or like we are told before, or what. But the countries themselves do not actually believe in this legislation. They don't want to use it. So they put in all these provisions that, you can hardly use, and a lot of bureaucracy. In Uganda, for example, as far back as 1995, we had a provision in the Constitution, the right of access to information. We did, and in the Constitution itself, it required that Parliament should make a law making operation of that provision. But the law was not made until 2005, and when 2005 it was made, the regulations under that law were not made until 2011, and so forth. My thinking on the other hand is that, okay, the freedom of information legislation is good, but it's not enough. And it needs to be fortified by all the other legislation, several other laws, of course the constitutional provisions, yes. But in Uganda, for example, we have a number of provisions in other laws that allow access to information, in natural resource laws, the National Environment Act, and all the Forest Act, the Wildlife Act, the Water Statute, and all that. All these laws contain specific provisions for access to information. And also regulations made under those laws. The other thing we have been doing in Uganda is also to look at the institution, because the law is not exercised in a vacuum. The right is not exercised in a vacuum. You need to look at the other institutions, especially the judiciary. If you have a law, certainly it is going to end up in court one time or the other. And if the mindset of the judiciary is not changed, it is still looking at all the information as being, information in the hands of state being secret and all that, you will have a problem. So engaging the judiciary, not just engaging the judiciary, but actually training. We have carried out a number of trainings since 1999 of the judiciary, and we have been able to get results in that regard. Members of Parliament, of course, the lawyers and the press need to be trained in this aspect, without mentioning information officers and others. But we also need to knock down other barriers, because there are barriers to information that are contained in other legislation. We did start with our press and statute to the Constitutional Court, which was dismissed. We left that and went on to fight against provisions in the Penal Code on false news. Yes, on false news and sedition, and we have succeeded in doing that. Of course, we have now other new laws which have come in, which are more restrictive. New laws are being brought in after the passing of the Freedom of Information Act that again bring back the provisions that restrict information, especially in natural resources. In Uganda, we have the oil and gas law. We have new provisions on the Anti-Terrorism Act, and we have to look at all these things of post-911 and try to work to have a wide approach to this problem than specifically on the file.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, there you are. You've got a panel of 6 people who have made various contributions, ranging from the most open society country in the world. We've heard from Britain,